1 second. That's all it takes. 1 second of someone not paying attention on a freeway, and your entire world gets rearranged. Imagine sitting in your car, completely stopped, doing everything right. And then suddenly you're launched forward by a force you never saw coming. That's exactly what happened to one driver in Utah, and what followed was a crash course in how car insurance actually works when you're caught in the middle of a 4-car pileup that wasn't your fault at all. If you've ever wondered what happens to your insurance, your medical bills, and your payout when you're the unlucky first domino in a chain reaction crash, stay with me, because this story is going to answer every single question you didn't know you had. So here's the setup. A driver is cruising along a Utah freeway, traffic starts slowing down, and they do what any responsible person does. They stop. They don't rear-end the car in front of them. They brake in time. They do everything right. And then, thud. One massive impact from behind, and suddenly they're being pushed forward by the combined force of 3 vehicles stacking up behind them like accordions. Car A, that's our driver, gets struck by Car B. Car B had already been hit by Car C, and Car C got crushed by Car D coming in at the back. A full 4-car domino chain on a freeway in Utah, and our driver, sitting innocently at the front of all of this, ends up with neck pain, upper back pain, and a whole lot of questions about what comes next. This is the kind of accident that sends people spiraling into anxiety, not just about their health, but about money, about fault, about whether their insurance premiums are going to skyrocket, even though they didn't do a single thing wrong. And honestly, those fears are completely valid. The insurance system in the United States is complicated enough when it's just 2 cars. When you've got 4 vehicles involved, multiple insurance companies, potential injuries, and a state-specific legal framework all colliding at once, pun absolutely intended, things get layered fast. Let's walk through exactly what happened, step by step, and more importantly, let's talk about what it means. So our driver is stopped on a Utah freeway, traffic has slowed ahead of them, they've braked safely, and they're just waiting. Behind them, however, a chain reaction is already beginning. Car D, which is the very last vehicle in this sequence, fails to stop in time. It crashes into Car C. Car C, now being pushed forward by that impact, crashes into Car B, and Car B, taking the full force of 2 vehicles behind it, crashes into our driver's car, Car A, at the front. Now here's the first thing that matters enormously from an insurance and liability standpoint. Our driver did not hit the car in front of them. That is huge. In a rear-end collision scenario, hitting the car ahead of you creates what's called comparative fault, meaning you could be partially responsible for damages even if someone hit you from behind. But because this driver stopped cleanly and never made contact with the vehicle in front, they are, for all practical purposes, completely blameless in this accident. In Utah, which operates under a modified comparative fault system with a 50% threshold, this distinction is critical. What that means is that if you are found to be 50% or more at fault for an accident, you cannot recover any damages at all. But if you're under 50% at fault, or in this case, essentially 0% at fault, you are entitled to recover damages proportional to the other party's responsibility. Our driver here is looking at a very favorable starting position. Now let's talk about who is actually at fault. In a chain reaction crash like this, liability typically flows from the back forward. Car D hit Car C, and that collision triggered everything else. So Car D's driver bears significant and likely primary responsibility for the entire accident. Car C also bears some responsibility for either following too closely or not leaving enough stopping distance, since their impact on Car B contributed to our driver getting hit. Car B is in a similar boat. They hit Car A, even if they were pushed into doing so. The reality in these situations is that insurance adjusters and sometimes courts have to untangle a web of partial fault. Car D is almost certainly going to be found the most responsible. Car C and Car B may share some degree of secondary liability, and Car A, our driver, is looking at very little to no fault assigned to them. So, what does this mean practically? Our driver's own insurance company is not likely to be on the hook for much here. The claims are going to primarily run through the other driver's liability coverage. Specifically, Car B's liability insurance should be the first line of compensation for Car A's damages and injuries, since Car B physically struck Car A. Car B's insurer may then try to subrogate, meaning they'll seek reimbursement from Car C and Car D's insurers, since those drivers caused Car B to hit Car A in the first place. This is where it helps to understand the concept of subrogation. When you file a claim with an at-fault driver's insurance company, that insurance company pays you out, but they don't just absorb that cost. They go after the other responsible parties to get their money back. As the innocent party, you don't have to worry much about that process. It happens in the background. Your job is to get compensated fairly for your losses. Now let's talk about those losses, because our driver mentioned something that should not be minimized: neck pain and upper back pain after the accident. This is actually one of the most important parts of this entire story. Soft tissue injuries, which include whiplash, muscle strains, and ligament damage in the neck and upper back, are incredibly common in rear-end collisions, and they are also among the most commonly undervalued or dismissed by insurance companies in the early stages of a claim. Here is the critical mistake many accident victims make. They downplay their symptoms, they wait too long to see a doctor, they accept a quick settlement before they fully understand the extent of their injuries. And then 6 months later, they're still in pain, they've already signed away their rights to further compensation, and they're stuck with medical bills they didn't anticipate. Our driver said they were planning to get checked out, which is exactly the right instinct. But let me be very clear about what getting checked out needs to mean in this context. It doesn't mean a casual urgent care visit and sending the insurance company a text. It means seeing a doctor, getting properly evaluated, having all symptoms documented in medical records, following through with any recommended treatment, whether that's physical therapy, chiropractic care, specialist referrals, or imaging like MRIs if needed, and keeping records of every single appointment, every bill, every out-of-pocket expense, and every day that affected your ability to work or live your normal life. All of that documentation becomes the foundation of an injury claim. And with a clear liability picture like this one, where our driver was struck from behind and bears no fault, a well-documented injury claim has strong potential for a meaningful payout that covers medical expenses, lost wages if applicable, and pain and suffering damages. Utah also has a personal injury protection requirement, commonly called PIP, as part of its no-fault insurance framework. This means our driver's own auto insurance policy may have a PIP component that kicks in immediately to help cover medical expenses regardless of who was at fault. That PIP coverage can help bridge the gap while the liability claims between the multiple parties are being sorted out. And in a 4-car accident with multiple insurance companies involved, that sorting out process can take a while. So what can you take away from all of this, whether you've been in a similar accident or you're just trying to understand how to protect yourself in the future? First, never assume being the front car in a chain reaction means you're fine legally or financially. Get checked out medically, every time, even if you feel okay in the moment. Adrenaline masks injury, and symptoms from whiplash and soft tissue damage can take hours or even days to fully appear. Second, document everything from the very first moment. Photos of the scene, photos of every vehicle, names and insurance information of every driver involved, badge numbers of any responding officers, and the police report number. That report is going to be one of the most important documents in your insurance claim. Third, be very careful about giving recorded statements to other drivers' insurance companies without understanding your rights first. Their job is to minimize the payout. Yours is to be fully and fairly compensated. Fourth, in a multi-vehicle accident like this one, strongly consider speaking with a personal injury attorney. Many offer free consultations before you accept any settlement offer. In situations where liability is clear and injuries are involved, an attorney can often negotiate a significantly higher settlement than you'd get on your own, even after their fee. And fifth, check your own policy right now, before anything happens to you, to understand what PIP coverage you have, whether you carry uninsured or underinsured motorist protection, and what your collision deductible looks like. Knowing your own policy is the single most underrated form of financial protection there is. If this happened to you, if you've been in a multi-car accident, if you're dealing with an injury claim, if you have no idea whether you're being offered a fair settlement, drop your situation in the comments. This community is here to help you figure it out. And if you want more real stories like this one, with real breakdowns of how insurance actually works in the real world, subscribe right now. We post new videos every week, and every single one could save you money, protect your rights, or help you avoid a mistake that costs you thousands. Hit that subscribe button because the next story might be exactly the one you need.